Getting answers from Palm Springs to Indio, a growing number of Valley residents say aircraft noise is disrupting daily life. The noise complaints follow a recent FAA change to the approach path to Palm Springs International Airport. I spoke about the issue today and what's being done about it with Airport Commission Chair Kevin J. Corcoran.
All right, Kevin, first off, for people who aren't familiar with this issue and PSP, what's going on right now?
So, Peter, about a year ago, unbeknownst to anybody at the Palm Springs Airport, the FAA made a slight adjustment to the landing approach to our airport. And that adjustment was based after a couple years of research, again, done at the federal level by the FAA, to address issues around safety, around efficiency and emissions, and also fuel savings, to make adjustments to make the approach into the Palm Springs Airport safer and more efficient. And while doing this, they also took in consideration, Bermuda Dunes and thermal. And when you look at it on a map, it's not a significant change. However, a slight change in just the direction has had a significant impact on some communities in the Coachella Valley. We've heard a lot from folks in Indian Wells, from Cathedral City and others, who all of a sudden, for the first time, are hearing planes and complaining about noise that they've never experienced before with our airport.
So what, if anything, needs to be done?
So I guess a couple things are important. We in the commission and also staff have been doing a lot of research about this. And I think there's a couple things that are important for the community to understand. Number one, this is not something that's driven locally in Palm Springs, City of Palm Springs, or at the airport. The FAA really has total control around what time flights can come in and out of an airport, the approach they make to the airport, and making decisions like this to make slight adjustments when they have a justification for safety, other reasons. So this is about the FAA. It's not about what's happening with us or decisions we're making here in Palm Springs. The second piece is that it doesn't have to do necessarily with the number of flights. We've actually had lesser or fewer flights coming in out of Palm Springs, primarily because the airlines have chosen to fly larger aircraft with more seats. And most of those aircraft are quieter because as you go to larger aircraft with latest technology, the technology is improving, day over day and trying to reduce noise. But even with that said, people are noticing the difference. And so many of these individuals and communities have been reaching out to us in the commission and the airport staff asking for what they can do. And because this is a decision that's made at the federal level, we're recommending that people contact their federal representatives and share their concerns with that. Since, in our case, Representative Louise or Ken Calvert are two Congress people, they will have impact in terms of FAA decisions. And even some people are reaching out to our state senators, our U.S. senators, Padilla and Adam Schiff, to share their concerns as well, because at the federal level, they can influence some of this change. And also, we're asking people who have concerns to go to our website and to log those concerns. There's a point on the Palm Springs Airport website where you can report noise issues. We're tracking all of this, both time of day and other issues, time, directions, any other comments, and collecting that information that we'll be sharing with the FAA as well. A decision to change a route into an airport like Palm Springs is not something that's done quickly. Some people suggested they've been doing research since 2021 to make this one change last summer, and it may take some time before they make changes in response to any of our community feedback that we're getting, at least at the federal level or through our website. But we've heard the complaints and we share the concerns from all of our neighbors. The airport tries really well to be a good neighbor. And we're trying to do everything we can to educate folks about what is the reality around noise at airports. And at the same time, what can we do as citizens to try to exert pressure and change at the federal level where all the control of this issue is held.
All right, Kevin, as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Peter. Appreciate your time.